Sports Goombahs, Cassidy King here. I got the crew. We're back. Chef Brendan B, Mikey the Wall. This is the Sports Goombahs coming to you live from the 515 studios, buried somewhere deep, deep outside Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'm at 3-2 Eagles now. When we left, they were 3-0. We're back to 3-2. We'll get to that in a little bit. Sports Goombahs is brought to you by Castle Public Adjusters, number one public adjusters in the Delaware Valley, bar none. 215-752-1237. If you have to make an insurance claim, you want to call these guys first. Check them out at castlepa.com. castlepa.com. If you want to give us a call, chime in on some of the action, some of the conversation, 267-563-2893. 267-563-2893 is the Sports Goombahs hotline. How's it going, guys? Welcome back. Whoa, you haven't been here in, 3 weeks?
It's been a while since the show, right?
He's a hiatus.
Not since the live show.
Not since the live. Not since the live. Oh, wow. Not since the live show. You haven't missed a whole lot.
Technically, the last time I was here, we were 1-0. They were 1-0.
1-0, right.
Then we did the show, came back. Yeah.
Well, let's get right to it then. Let's go right. We'll go right into the birds this week. The defense has let them down, obviously, in the last two games. Coaching wise, I see them being out coached, especially defensively in the last two games. Noticed something 2 weeks ago when were playing Detroit, and Detroit in the first quarter, Detroit ran that three men to the left and that reverse in the backfield, and the Eagles sucked it right up in 2 seconds. What that did is showed Detroit that everybody on the Eagles bid on the play, and they just happened to run it that way. And I was talking to somebody, and I said, that play's going to come back. And it did not come back to haunt them in the second quarter, saying they ran the same play, and the entire Eagle team went for the fake on that side. And then they had that real long play. And that was, to me, that's coaching. How come the coach in the sky didn't see that? I'm an idiot sitting home watching on TV. I know that play's coming back to bite them again because how the entire team bid on it to start with. Anybody at the eye in the sky should have caught that and said, watch out for that again. Make sure somebody's over on the other side. Other than that, when you let up 21 points in the NFL in the first period of two games, you're playing comeback football with a rookie quarterback and a defense that's falling apart a little bit. Now, I know there's some injuries here and there and whatever, but still, it doesn't. I think the defense is getting outcoached.
And don't forget, too, you lost your starting, you're starting on your offensive line.
That's just this last week, though.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about this thing. This has been, for 2 weeks now, this has been breaking down a little bit. The whole defense, the secondary has been getting beat up a little bit. And I guess you don't have a rush. You don't have a defense. Now I'll go back and look at the teams that they played, the quarterbacks that they played against the first 3 weeks versus the last two quarterbacks that they played against. Now, Kirk Cousins is not a superstar, but he has ability. He can beat you.
He's a capable quarterback.
He's a capable quarterback, right. He can read a defense, First 3 weeks, except for the Pittsburgh, which now we don't know what they're about because they got destroyed by Miami yesterday. With or without Rosenberg, they still got destroyed. But we don't know if Pittsburgh's that good of a team right now. Well, obviously now they're beat. They don't have a quarterback. Who's quarterbacking them now?
It would be Landry Jones, I would assume.
Yeah, well, Pittsburgh's in trouble. So now they've fallen off the ranks for a little bit, So are the Eagles that good, or they just come out they just came out in the first 3 games against teams that they were beatable?
No, they're still a solid team.
Oh, no, I'm not saying they're not solid at all. I just, they need a wide receiver, obviously. They need someone who can get open. They need a player to get open. I mean, Beckham Green gets open, but can he handle the ball? Green Beckham. Nothing gets by this guy.
That's why he's here.
I was going to call him Odo just to fuck with him. No. But tough games to watch, the last 2 Eagle games. Tough games to watch when you give up 21 points to open up. I didn't give away total 21 yesterday, but it was almost like it.
Well, that's kind of like what we talked about at the beginning of the season. If you get that, can the offense come back and make up that difference? Here, the only difference between that now and that, talking about it then and now, is the fact that it's not Bradford back there trying to make this team come back. It's Carson Wentz.
MVP Bradford you're talking about?
I'm not saying MVP.
I'm saying it. Look what he's doing over there.
I'm also not saying, that, I'm not hitting the panic button yet. But I'm also
Pete, there's no panic button to hit here because the expectations of this team doesn't warrant a panic button at this point.
I think the expectation of this team went up significantly.
That's because we're stupid.
3 weeks ago. I'm not saying it was stupidly or not. I'm just saying I think it went up during that period there.
I'm starting to see coaching moves that remind me of Andy Reid era. Calling timeouts and punting. When I saw that yesterday, I said, no way. You cannot call timeout and punt. There's no reason for it. There's no excuse. I don't care what the situation is. You shouldn't have to punt after a timeout. You could have punted before the timeout. Let the clock run down. Take the 5-yard penalty if you want to talk about it. Go back 5 yards and punt. Don't use a timeout and punt. You can't do that. That's Andy Reid, man.
Well, that's a rookie coach mistake.
Yeah.
Too.
Well, that's going to happen.
Exactly. And I'm not saying it's the end of the world. Is what I'm saying is, look, we both said there's going to be, and you exclusively talked about it, like, because you had no confidence in this coach before the season started, and he's going to make mistakes. He's going to make big, and right. I quote unquote, he's going to make a couple big ones too, and it's going to cost games. But I'm not sold on him, and that's fine. You don't have to be sold on him.
I did mention that if after these 3 wins, that the film would be out on Carson Wentz. The film would be out on the defense, and if you're a good coach and good players, you adjust to this, and this is what we're going to see now. Can he adjust to what the NFL knows about him? Carson Wentz didn't lose yesterday's game. In fact, he looked composed right on to the end. I loved the way he looked yesterday.
They still had a chance.
He stood in there. He didn't panic like you see most quarterbacks. Even veterans panic when you get slapped around 5 and 6 times. Okay, he didn't. He played to the very end of the game. It never looked like he gave up. And let's face it, the Eagles weren't out of this game at the end. They still had a chance, to make some plays.
And when it slipped through his finger, I thought he could have caught that the ball that slipped through Ertz's hands. Yeah, that's a big difference in the game there. The fact that they played so bad, the up thing is they played so bad on defense, they were still in the football game. But once again, a loss is a loss, and that's just the way it goes. That's how I look. But I like the Carson Wentz. He looked good. He looked good yesterday. He didn't. I wanted to see how he would. 2 games in a row. The first game, a fumble lost it for him. This one they just didn't play well enough, and I don't think he was on the field enough to play well enough. It looks like Wentz has to be on the field, get himself into a rhythm. He can't be on 5 minutes in the first half and 7 minutes in the second half and expect to have a decent game out of him. You can't even get your arm ready. You can't get your cadence down. You can't get the team, regulated to what you're doing. Rhythm, right? The rhythm, exactly. And it looked like towards the end of the game, they were starting to catch a little bit of rhythm, but it was a little bit too late. 2 minutes left in that game, 2 minutes more. Who knows what happened? Defense didn't adjust. That's what it was. The coach didn't adjust from the first half to the second half. They just played catch-up football. Mike, what is it?
Yeah, listen. I'm letting you say what you have to say.
No, I want you to rebuke.
Well, I mean, I usually, I don't agree with pretty much anything you say.
That's all right. So. That's all you hear, man.
When you texted before and said your exact words were, "They look like shit," I thought that was one of the biggest overstatements.
First of all, I'm texting you. It's not. You take those texts literally. I'm just saying, look like shit instead of me have to type out. They look like they needed to blow. That's me to you.
I know. It's just typical Philly overreaction.
I didn't say that out loud to people. I haven't even said it here tonight. I'm just saying.
They lost by 1 point and they lost by 1 touchdown. I mean, like I said, they have a rookie quarterback, a rookie coach. And they are. Yeah, they are what they are. Still have a winning record. Yeah. So I'm completely fine with where they're at right now.
The biggest problem is how good the Dallas Cowboys are right now. And I don't know where I'm seeing things, but the Cowboys look like a well-oiled machine out there. And yesterday, what they did to Green Bay, let's
keep in mind, Green Bay is not that good.
I know, but we still Rodgers. He's still.
I know that. I'm not discrediting the win. Winning against the Packers is a big win.
Anytime you're winning Green Bay is a big win.
But at the same time, the Packers aren't. Talk about looking like shit. I think the Packers look like shit.
I got Jordy Nelson. I know what they
barely
look like.
Beat Jacksonville, right. Barely beating this team. And
I got Jordy Nelson. I know what they look like. Well, I had Ben, so.
Yeah, but still, you have Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers looked like that defense confused him yesterday, and that's not usually what you see out of a Dallas defense. And the funny thing about Dallas is you listen to them talk about, and it's almost like the media and the sports media, they want Romo back. Everybody talks about Romo. Are they kidding me? They'd bring. I don't care Romo. I don't care what. I would not put Romo back. In fact, Des Bryant not being in there might be a plus. Right now, he's not. They're playing well. They got a running game. They got Emmitt Smith back there again.
Playing like a team.
Yeah, absolutely. I would. Des Bryant. I don't know, man. Would you bring Des? Well, I guess you would because he's talented.
Obviously, you bring Des Bryant.
Bring him back, but I don't want him coming back. If I'm Dallas, I don't want him coming back, bitching and moaning. I'm not getting the ball. That I'm running the ball 25 times a game because that's the way we're winning. And I got a quarterback who can move left or right. But Romo back in, how could they even talk about that?
Jerry World stated he is our quarterback.
Yeah,
right?
he's pulling off that a little bit though,
because he's crazy.
He loves 5-1 right now, and he's thinking he's got the best team in the East, and he does right now, from what I can see.
Got the best team in the NFC right
he
now.
might very well Minnesota's. I don't know what Minnesota's doing. They don't have a running back. They lost half their defense and they're crushing everybody. They got the MVP quarterback.
And that's what we're going to look at this week. Coming up.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to get a preview of.
And the big talk today on Sports Talk locally was the Big V. Big V. He shouldn't even worthy of big anything the way he played.
He's just big.
Now I understand what's he 5th round pick, and he's the backup offensive lineman there. They can't play him again next week.
He is. He already is.
Yeah, they already put him in.
He's got to. He's got to. How do you expect? Like I'm sure
you got to get him
Lane
help.
Johnson
You're
in his
have to get
third
him
game ever was he that great?
Not that bad. This guy was.
I don't know. I don't remember.
He really wasn't that bad.
I don't think
considering the situation he's being put in.
Yeah, I don't know. I get that. But Carson Wentz couldn't play his game because of what was coming from that side of the ball.
He's going up against an all-pro defensive end.
I know that.
His first good start.
Yeah,
he was getting zero help.
But you got to help that. You got to fix that. Now this week.
That was the poor coaching.
Okay, well, that's what I'm getting to. This week they have to put another tight end with him on the side.
Selleck should be next to him the entire game. He shouldn't leave his side.
Game. Shouldn't leave his side. Well, there you go. Coming from you, that's the right move. Let's see what goes down here next week. Because the Vikings are going to be all over them, and it's going to be nuts if they don't have help from that side. I mean, it's going to be a shame to what happened. I think. I mean,
you figure that's definitely going to affect a lot of other things if they're hanging in all night blocking.
Yeah,
you can see how an offense could get stagnant.
I didn't see the screenplay yesterday, and that's what they've been winning. That's what they've been gaining yards on. They couldn't even get they couldn't get a screenplay together because of the rush. And that's a big deal for them.
Yeah, but Selleck should be there, like I said, because
he's not injured, right? There's no problems with him.
No, he played like 12 snaps, something like that. But the point I'm saying is, like, it's not like the receivers are so dynamic that we need to have all 3 or 4 of our stud receivers out there.
Right. I know.
Put 2 receivers out there because they're not that very good anyway.
Right.
And 2 tight ends and a running back. There you go. There's your 5.
Yeah. And if Wentz shows what he can do with a football, he can put the ball where it needs to be. In fact, a couple of passes, the one down the sideline was right there. Yep. I think I was Aguilar who stopped, who should have kept going down the sideline. I don't know. It was Matt. Couldn't come. Yeah, he ended up, and the ball landed on the hash mark where it should have been if he would have kept running down the field instead of looking up. What happens is he slowed down when he went to look up. You can't do that as a wide receiver. You got to keep the stride going. He's
just not a good wide receiver. Yeah. I think I think whoever. It was
That's a chip. That's a chip.
It was a dupe. You just saw a little bit of speed there and got all excited, and I think that's all that was.
Yeah. Well, I just hope that the team's not. That these guys are halfway decent talent evaluators for the backups, because obviously in the NFL now you need to have good backup players. And the guys go down. Guys can go down easy now with concussion rules. You're out of the game. You got to have backups. You got to have 2 and 3 players in positions. At least decent. There's no more putting, 7th round draft picks as your backup anymore in the NFL, unless they can really play, because you're going to need them. Obviously, look at all the injuries that are happening in the first 5 weeks of football. A lot of talented players are out, whether it's concussion or it's just they're all getting dinged up for the most part.
Aaron Rodgers, by the way, do you know where he ranks quarterback rating in the NFL?
We're at
20th.
That's the first time in his life. Yeah.
And that doesn't include, this is a qualified quarterback, so it doesn't include Tom Brady.
Right. Look what he's doing.
But that's and the reason I bring that up is because we always talk about like elite. Like, when you have Brady, you're always in a championship
chance to win.
And we always assume Rodgers was like that too.
Me too this year. I talked about Green Bay. I didn't know who else to take in the NFC, so I said, all right, well, Rodgers is still healthy. Green Bay's got to be one of the teams that are going to be there. Well, the breakdown is happening.
And I think that just shows the discrepancy, not discrepancy, but the difference, the room, the in between Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, and Brady and the rest of the league.
Rest of the league.
Brady is in his own league. He is the best quarterback to ever play football.
I watched him.
I don't see there could be even a conversation.
See, I'm a Montana guy, but yesterday I watched that Patriot game, and him and Gronkowski ruled the game. I mean,
he does whatever he wants.
They just exactly.
He misses 4 games suspension. Comes back like he never missed.
Yeah, there's no cheating here. There's no way you can cheat and play this good. You just can't do it. The talent is there. The mind that he has for what he's looking at downfield, and he putting the balls in to all these 5-foot white guys. You can't even see them when they go off the snap for some reason.
That's half their charm. They're hiding.
They have an opening inside like this big, between their hands and their chest. He sticks it in there. It's unbelievable. And he's going to destroy the league. He might lose one more football game just because here and there, just because they have to. But other than that, I can't see anybody in the AFC. Nobody. With Pittsburgh going down, who else is even in there? Cincinnati, forget about it. They destroyed Cincinnati. I don't know who else in the AFC off the top of your head. Kansas City?
Not Denver.
Not Denver. It's definitely not Denver.
Denver can't score. For the most part, they can't score. I guess the defense is doing the scoring for them.
South is pathetic.
Yeah.
The South is a joke.
So,
Kansas City, I think, is only.
I don't like Kansas City.
I don't like him either.
Big Red.
I don't like him either, but the AFC, I mean, even then they look at the NFC.
I hope the Raiders
teams
will come up somehow and knock
What the hell
KC
happened
off.
to Carolina?
The teams aren't really that good.
Well, Mr. Elite quarterback is losing his mind over there. I mean, what he did yesterday, he didn't win a Super Bowl. He doesn't get to go up to the podium and disrespect all the writers who have a job to do up there. And the way he came up yesterday after that game, dressed up in a Pharrell hat, whatever you would call it.
I hate that.
And he had a big bow tie on front. And he goes, next question. Staring out into space like he won 5 Super Bowls. And how dare you ask him why his team is 5-1? Anyway,
he's not 5-1.
1-5. And even Deion Sanders like, whoa, that's his boy too. And he's like, what's up with the hat, the bow tie, and the attitude, man? He said, and for Deion to go against him, and you got to give those reporters respect. They're there to do a job. You're not going to answer one question. You're 1-5 coming off a Super Bowl appearance, and you don't want to say why because you're a loser. And that's what they are, Carolina. They're losers right now. They're finding ways to lose, and he's not playing well. And they had a comeback yesterday, and they blew it.
I had Breeze on that bench yesterday. He called me again to friggin' rub it in. And I'm playing him this week, too. No, I'm still beating you by 20.
Yeah, well.
You got the defense.
I don't trust Arizona, so I'm not banking on them tonight.
You got Arizona's defense. So you will be winning by 1 point as soon as the game starts.
Right, what is that? Yeah, what did they put points on there when the game starts. It's like, I don't know.
It's because you get 20 for the defense, and they minus everything, right?
Oh, is that how that works?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
No, it's not that you really start with them. It's like, because it's a shutout. And a shutout is worth X amount of points.
Oh, so the computer generates it like that. Okay, I always wondered
at that point, technically, they have a shutout, which gets you X amount
I didn't know
points,
that, man. I thought that was just.
That's why, pretty much the defenses only lose points. They don't really get points.
Yeah.
Unless
like
you
defensive touchdowns.
Let's score a bunch of touchdowns.
Yeah, that's what. Well, I don't understand what he was doing up there on the podium. All he had to do is say, "Look, you say, yeah, we lost the game. Just come out there and talk. Don't you're not a diva yet. You haven't earned that. You got to be, in the NFL. If you're Brady,
you don't have to. No, I mean he is a diva.
But okay, whatever. I say you act like one, but win something, do something up there. Don't disrespect the people that are making you the money up there. These are the guys that write about you, and you're going to go and shut them out after you have a horrible game or 3 horrible games or whatever. And he just came back off an injury. Use that as an excuse. I tried to do the best I could, whatever. And he didn't have a bad game himself. Their defense stinks this year.
Yeah,
and that's what's blowing for him. That's the deal.
It doesn't need to be an excuse. You make it like he had to make up a reason why.
There's a pro way to do this. There's a pro way. You're made to do those press conferences. Coaches and players, they have to do them. They're told to do them.
Hell, they sometimes when you're looking at the game stuff, you don't even really have. You know what the answer is? They were a better team today. There is no excuse. There is no excuse. You don't have to make something up. You don't have to say, "Oh well, our defense could have played better." You don't have to throw anybody under the bus.
I can't stand when he stared out there in space into the light, saying, "Next question, next question," and he's going to say it after, like he doesn't even want to be standing there. Well, then leave. Then just walk off. Don't embarrass the press like that. They're there to do. You don't answer the question. Don't show up. Say hi, goodbye, guys. Terrible game, and hit the road and go. Don't make a mockery out of it with your big bow tie and your hat and whatever the smile that you have like you're the best. I don't have to answer nobody. I'm Cam Newton and I've won nothing. Okay, bottom line. And their season.
Wouldn't you love to see a press conference start like that with him? Hi, Mr. Newton. You have won nothing and got no accolades. So except for
he's off the podium. Right?
What makes you think that you can blah, 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 or, just start it off like that? If you're going to come out with that attitude, I give you all to chive them up.
Yeah. I don't know. Whatever. But, getting back to Dallas, I'm stunned by how good they are. I've watched several of the games. I watched most of the games in the way I'm set up, and I watched them yesterday too, back and forth. And they don't make any mistakes. They don't get penalized. And it's not your typical Jerry Jones crew out there now. It doesn't even look like the Jerry Jones crew.
Did he have nothing to do with this team, this turnaround?
I don't think he did. This is a 4th round quarterback, right? He was picked in the 4th round. And there's no way Jones expected this guy to be. In fact, he's the third quarterback on this team, I think. The backup got hurt or something like that.
Who's it? Backup for
the Cowboys.
No, he's backup.
He was the third quarterback on this team.
Wasn't.
Yeah, check that. I think he was. I think there was somebody they had.
Was it Sanchez?
No. Dallas? No. There was a third quarterback for Dallas. Ezekiel was good in college, so you had something with him.
The lefty.
Yeah, right.
Kellen Moore.
That's what he said. Yeah, okay. Who's the other running back for Cowboys? They have Allen, right? Or
Richard McFadden.
McFadden, right? Okay. He's more like a fullback, right? For the most part.
No, he's not at all like a fullback.
No. I like the Cowboys, Usually I couldn't give a shit, but they're good football. They're playing the left or right, throwing the ball down. He threw his first interception, took it like a man, So him and Wentz are together now. They've both got their interceptions out of the way. Both of them, I guess they're your two. There's the two rookies, man, going at it for the rookie of the year. I guess who else is playing well as a rookie? I don't know. Oh well, Elliott, right? Is he a rookie? Yeah,
Elliott's gonna win it.
Yeah.
He leads the league in rushing.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry if he keeps that up. Yeah, if he keeps that.
He has 703 yards. The next closest has 580.
Right.
He's running away with it. No pun intended.
Yeah.
Running away with it.
That was good.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was appropriate.
You know who number 2 and 3 are on that list for rushing yards? LaShawn and DeMarco.
DeMarco, right? I know I got DeMarco. I drafted him second round. I took him. People said, "What do you think?"
We said it when I don't know if I assume we said it. 'Cause I know I said it that when we brought in Peterson, it made sense to keep DeMarco.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone thought DeMarco was washed up. It's because the system didn't fit him last year.
I think there's a problem with the agent, the Eagles. There had to be something else because why would
there's something else going on?
Yeah, why would you keep Matthews and not him?
I don't know.
I mean, the money was the same, isn't it, between the two of them? I think.
DeMarco got
more money. Yeah, but they could have kept. That money wasn't an issue with the Eagles. They could have kept him too.
They lost like $12 million by cutting him or trading him, whatever.
Well, once again, that Chip Kelly stuff was all been shoved out the door. Aguilar is the only Chip Kelly really main player that. Offensively though. Oh. Offensively. I mean, who else is on the
Marcus
offense?
Smith, baby. See him? He forced that interception.
Marcus Smith was. That's a Roseman pick. I think that's not a Kelly. That's why he's still here. Roseman was involved in that pick too. So he's gonna make Marcus.
Be a little bit of a pissing contest until they're all gone.
Roseman was. I'm not calling him Rose nuts. Roseman was standing up and cheering when Smith caused that interception.
I don't think anyone wants him to be better than.
Yeah, right.
Other than Smith himself, probably. Is Roseman.
That's about it, right? He's been pretty quiet during the losing streak here now. First 3 weeks, everybody was posted. They're all on TV. Everybody wants to interview. Now it's like kick back a little bit. Uh-oh. What do you mean we're not 5-0? How'd that happen? They could have been 5-0. A couple adjustments here and there.
Yeah, very well could have.
5-0. You don't get that fumble 2 weeks ago. They're 4-0. And last week, yesterday, I think they just the penalties, man. It's like it's all Andy Reid stuff. Yeah, it's back to that, undisciplined, unprepared. And you watch some of the film. Some of the players just look winded in the second period. You see guys chasing the ball, they're just not moving. Fletcher Cox a couple times trailing plays, not like the money he's being paid, and falling down a couple times while he was running behind the play. A lot of that stuff was going. They were slow to the ball yesterday all day long. That's what I thought. That's why they were running outside with them. They couldn't get outside at all to catch up on them. I don't think the secondary was as bad as it looked, except on third. I don't know. Eagles with third down are awful. They can't stop third down.
That hasn't just
third and 5, man.
It's been a 5-year ordeal now.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with the 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, man. It just can't shut that down.
Long yards.
Yeah, and it's always the out pattern. They get nailed on it. Oh, it's because cornerbacks are what they are. Slow reacting, I think. I don't know.
But let's face it, there's got to be something that can be done because all across the league, not everybody has like all these awesome cornerbacks, yet they are able to stop people on third down. So it infuriates me.
Who's
at least when you need it.
Who's the top defense in the league right now? Minnesota. I guess New England would have to be up there too right now. They're not giving
Minnesota. Yeah. Like statistically, it's Minnesota.
Minnesota. I mean, Seattle's still stopping people, although they had a rough time against Atlanta. Everybody's having a rough time against Atlanta. That's another team that's shocking everybody. Matty Ice is freezing, man. He's back. He's back from the dead, man. Check him for Adderall.
Actually, the Steelers was their defense?
No,
not
anymore. It's Dallas is tough.
Falling apart too.
Dallas defense is tough too. Yeah, they both sides. I hate boasting about them.
And
man.
Denver's still good.
Yeah, we've got Denver. Denver's on the plateau by themselves too. Once again, they can get to the Super Bowl just by a defense.
I have Denver's defense. Yeah.
Yeah. Denver's defense is still that good, but they'll get worn down if the offense keeps them on the field. Remember one thing about Manning last year, he wasn't that good. He wasn't Manning, but he did have drives. He did kept things going.
Up the clock.
Ate up the clock. He knew how to do it.
Statistically, I mean, points per game wise, Eagles still the third best defense in football.
Yeah.
So really. It's not the defense's fault, obviously.
Well, the last 2 games it has been. I mean,
it's not their fault.
What, the Eagles defense last 2 games?
It's not been their fault.
Well, you give up 21 points.
They had a bad quarter.
Okay,
after that one quarter, they shut everything down.
What about yesterday? Yesterday they couldn't stop third down. That's the problem.
Yeah, but it's not their fault. When your quarterback is in the fourth quarter and he has 52 yards passing, that's not the defense's fault. Wentz looked like a rookie.
Yeah, well, yeah, he looked like a rookie, but he still didn't get enough opportunities to be on the field. They weren't. How much time? They didn't have much time on the field at all. He was never out there.
How many offensive plays were there?
Not that you can't remember that many plays. There's no plays are sticking out in my head right now. But yesterday, was there a big play yesterday?
4 3 and outs at least.
There's a couple. In the first half, first quarter was 4 3 and outs. Yeah, the touchdown was on the kick return and an interception. There were the 2 touchdowns, right?
Yep.
That was it. And so he was never on the field. That's why I had no. Yeah, well, give him another quarter. He might the whole game might have changed because
another 2 minutes.
He was heating up a little bit. He was getting better as the game was going on.
Yeah.
Right.
I could see on that last drive where, what do you call it? Ertz doesn't catch it. It goes through his hands.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, that was the game right there.
Right, exactly.
I knew it was the game.
And then they got the penalty to put him back 10 yards there, and that made it even tougher.
And the holding penalty when what do you call it, ran it in.
But you know as well as I, right, as we see her do the show, Wentz is watching film right now. He's not. He might be doing a radio show somewhere, but he's going to be watching film, and he'll be here tomorrow morning trying to straighten out what went on. And he's going to figure out if they can't shore up that offensive line, he'll figure a way to play with it coming at him hard.
Well, that's what I like about him.
Yeah, he looks the type.
He's studious. When it comes to the extra stuff.
I looked for him yesterday to fall apart a little bit on a game where he's sacked 6 times, right?
Didn't he? And that's a kicker too.
And that's just sacked. He got hit too. It wasn't just the sacks.
Like 11 hurries, I think.
Yeah, so he got beat up yesterday and still came out swinging at the very end.
Well, here's a funny thing too. We didn't get to anybody at all this game. We didn't get to
nothing.
No sack.
Touch him.
The one time they did touch him, they called it a freaking, which I kind of thought that was a stretch there. Was it on Cox? I think it was on Cox, roughing the passer.
Oh, yeah, that was, hit him in the head, man. When anything to the head, you're done. Doesn't matter if you slap him, tap him, whatever. Once you touch the top of that helmet, the flags are going up. There's some interference calls every week too. There's all over the league yesterday.
It wasn't just the Eagles.
Interference is becoming, they don't even know what it is. It's almost like hockey penalties too. If it looks like it, they call it. It depends on when the play is and what the situation of the game.
The problem in hockey right now is, Jesus Christ, let them. If changing players on ice is not a problem, it has nothing to do with the play down the other end of the ice. Who cares if it's an extra step away from the boards? The other guy's not involved in the play. It doesn't matter.
No, that's not my point. Point about.
I know. I'm saying, but
don't confuse me, man.
No. And I'm just saying, it's stupid. It's stupid calls. It's not just there. It's in hockey now too. You were talking about that in hockey. It's the bench minors that are ridiculous.
Well, I think it all comes back to replay and what's going on above, the way you're being judged now. As like everybody bitched about the Eagles crew last week. The referee crew has notoriously bad in the NFL, not just for Philadelphia, but other teams too. And they know they're being watched. Everything is, there's 25 cameras on the refs now. So even when they make bad calls, it goes back to the league for the next week and they evaluate. So there's no getting away with anything.
To this point, it makes it so. I think the instant replays made the officials worse.
Oh, absolutely, because they don't have to work.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Oh, I don't care if I get it wrong. It doesn't matter. It's good. He's not. They're going to overturn it anyway.
What bothers me is yesterday, was there a play in the Eagle game where the Redskin didn't touch the ground? The running back caught the ball, he was tackled, fell on top, and then they go back and they can't review that. And I'm saying to myself, why not? What about that? That his knee didn't touch the ground, you can't review it. The play continued. They tackled him downfield, yet he come back and he throws the red flag. Well, he didn't even knew not to, Gruden even knew not to throw the flag. He said, that's non-reviewable. He knew that was not. But why is that non-reviewable?
Of all the things to see if a player is
touch
down.
The ground. And on a fumble, it's the same way. If he's down on the ground and he fumbles, the play's dead. But if his knee, and a play like that, which is a big, what was that, a 20-yard gain from that, we're going back. Why isn't that reviewed? I don't understand. I can't figure out the way they decide on what is reviewable and what's not. doesn't take away from the game? Is it because it's a continuous play? Once again, you're back to the continuous play, like I talked about in baseball too. If you call,
no, because it's not a continuous play because the play eventually ended.
Right, you bring it back to the mark of the ball.
If he said he's down, then he's just down there. In a continuation play,
the thing is not reviewable. They said because the whistle blew.
How did the whistle blow?
The referee blew the whistle. The player's the one that kept on going, and the players fouled and they tackled him. The referee blew the whistle back then. So once the referee blew the whistle, the play is dead, and it doesn't get reviewed. I'm trying to think what other instance replaying football do they blow the whistle, which they still review it. An out of bounds play, that's about it.
If his feet were down, then that's it.
Yeah, well,
to make a catch or whatever. Blah, blah,
yeah,
blah.
the rules committee check that. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, I got some. Who's hotter handicapped in America than I am? Proven. What a week! Coming off a 3-week run.
I was looking
it's
at
out of control. I can't. I'm shocked. It's my greatest 3 weeks. Greatest 3 weeks one of my entire life
since 2012.
No, 06. Got it.
Really?
That beats 2012.
Yeah.
That beats that. Even the one we had in the summertime, where Mike and I both went like 17-2, where we had that long run or whatever. Super Bowl. This is incredible, man. The Midas touch. I don't know what to do. All right, Cash the King. I got my chef Brendan
Midas touch. Now who's dropping cliches? And they're not even good ones. Jesus, you got to quote a fairy tale from 400 years ago.
Yeah. Sports Goombahs. We'll be right back. Avoid the hassle. Just call Castle Public Adjusters. Get the edge on your insurance company. 215-752-1237. That's 215-752-1237. Or check them out at castlepa.com. Don't settle for less. Get the maximum for your claim. Castle Public Adjusters. 215-752-1237.
Hey, yo, Cassie, what are you doing?
I got plumbing problems here. I can't get the water to go down the drain. What am I going to do?
Call Guaranteed Plumbing, 215-342-7200 for all your plumbing needs. Serving the Philadelphia area and the greater Delaware Valley.
What was that phone number again?
215-342-7200.
Oh, yeah, oh.
BZI Group, Inc. for your individual and small group health insurance needs. BZI offers free, instant online insurance quotes and applications from major health insurance carriers. The BZI Group is dedicated to a no-nonsense approach to health insurance. They focus on giving you the insurance you need in a timely and cooperative manner. Whether you're looking for individual and family, group, seniors, life, or long-term coverage, BZI can help. For additional information or to speak with an insurance expert, call 1-800-431-4834 or email them at www.bzigroup.com.
When you need a good roof over your head, call Seal Roofing. They've been keeping folks warm and dry for many years now and are proud of their work. Seal Roofing and Contracting does it all, whether you need simple repairs before the next big rainy season or a whole new roof. Maybe you need new siding or windows. You can be certain that when you hire Seal Roofing, you're hiring the best. Available 7 days a week with 24-hour emergency service and free estimates. Call 215-533-4066. That's 215-533-4066 or visit sealroofing.net.
Sports Goombahs. Catch the King here. My chef, Brendan B. My chef. Personal chef, Brendan B.
Personal.
Give me something to eat. Starving over here.
I mean, nice to
What are you eating over there? You had your powdered donuts.
I had a couple of donuts.
Fresh powdered donuts.
Go with that coffee.
There it is.
But I didn't make the donuts.
How do I sound tonight, man? I got my teeth back. I still got the stitches in there. Last week I was all blown up. Like this.
And that's why we weren't here.
Yeah, I couldn't breathe. Oh, the pain. The pain of getting your gums cut.
Your mouth was bloated before they put the stitches in. Bloviating all the time.
Yeah, you know that. Tomorrow I get the stitches out. That'll be fun. You know, I can take it, man. Not a problem at all. What I can't take is the euphoria around the picks this week. Last week and the week before, a 3-week run I'm having. This is this pick session. This is Catch the King. We earned you. If you're paying your bookie, tell them.
It ain't our fault.
Oh, it ain't our fault. And you're out of your mind if you're not watching Sports Goombahs. Following my plays every day. Last week, we're 13-2 coming off last week, okay? An 8-0 opener. 8-0 in the NHL this week, okay? Where I earned. This is, baseball's one thing, but the hockey's a harder thing, all right? 8-0, we come off a little help from my friends. Mikey the Wop stepped in. The old Mikey the Wop came in, helping out a little bit here. That's okay. We're a team. We do this together. It doesn't really matter. It's still coming out of the Sports Goombahs. Week before that, last week, we were on 8-2. Once again, killing them in the NFL, which is something that it's not unusual for me. And the week prior to that, 8-3. 29-6 run right now. 3-week run. Who's better? Anywhere. Tell me who he is. And it's all there. It's all there for you to see. You want to see it? We can document it. It's not, and I don't charge for my plays. I couldn't care less. Take them, don't take them. I give them out there. You know what I mean? You follow, you don't follow. You got a little thing so you can tip me if you want on the site. No one ever does, but you can if you want to. You have to run like this. You got to give me something. Doing the homework for this kind of run, and it's not over. It's not over because we got some coming up here. That's right. Round of applause.
There you go. Round of applause.
I could care less, man.
He's researching his pick.
He could care less.
He wants to contribute to that winning attitude there.
Yeah, I'm sure. All right. And last night, unbelievable. Last night, the only loss, my 2 losses this week. One of the MLB games took me down. One of the baseball games took me down this week, I think. Yeah. No, actually, it was an NFL game. Might have been last Monday night. I'm not really sure. I have to check that out. Anyway, last night I was on that Houston game. I had the over 22.5. Gave up on it. Said, you know what? I'm still fooling myself. I should have been on this game. Blah, blah, blah. I was bored last night. I saw a game. I figured, against the Indianapolis, who's a civil defense. I go out and put, it's a Sunday night game. Houston, they're tops in the division. They'll throw up 22.5 points. I mean, come on, right?
I stayed up to watch that game.
5 minutes left in the game. I passed out. I was like, I'm getting sick of watching this guy. Yeah, Osweiler. What's his name? Osweiler?
Yeah.
Osweiler. What is it?
Osweiler.
Osweiler. There he is.
I thought you said ass wiper.
Yes, he was ass wiped the whole game. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, we got an ass wiper and a press.
Yeah, I was calling him ass wiped the whole game the way he was playing. Couldn't hit anybody. All of a sudden, 2 minutes left in the game. This guy's Johnny freaking Unitas, man. Coming out there, popping the ball all over the place. A little help from Indianapolis, falling asleep or whatever. I wake up, hours later, put on the Yahoo, and I see a big picture of somebody strangling a Colt helmet and yelling the word chokers, you know what I mean, like that. And I think, what? And I flipped it on. I can't believe they came back and scored that. Banged out that game, man. 13-2 yesterday. Like I said, 13-2. All right. NHL, we got a couple games. These are what I'm looking at.
Hockey's back.
The hockey's back. It's absolutely
it.
back. I got 3 games tomorrow. I like the Tampa Bay, Florida game. I like the Nashville-Dallas game and the Chicago-Philly game. I'm looking at all the overs for the home teams here. Tampa Bay, Nashville, and Chicago. All over 2.5. They're not posted yet. I'm assuming that's what it's going to be. They might be high numbers. They cost you a little bit to get those 2.5. That's what I'm seeing right now. Those are 3 games that I'm on. You're going to have to look on the site to see exactly where I am with those 3 games tomorrow. And that's pretty much all I have for this weekend. The NFL game on Thursday night, Packers-Bears. Now, I'm going with my heart here. There's no way. The Packers-Bears it's always a big game. After what I saw last week from Green Bay, either they're that bad or they're going to come back and be a bad Bears team too, for the most part. I like the over 46.5, 47 in this game. I might be on the Green Bay side total, depending what that comes up. At a 47, I can see Green Bay being like a 26.5 on this, and the Bears being a 21 or something like that on that side. But we'll have to wait till that comes out. But that's a game I'm going to be on Thursday. Check in at the sgshow.net, Sports Goombahs, and Cashie's Corner for all these plays and see where I'm at with them. Like I said, I put these plays out today, but I might look at them tomorrow, and they might change based on what the line tells you. Mikey, got anything?
Well, last time I was here was like I said, the live show. I gave 2 plays. I gave Florida State and I gave Louisville. They actually both won, if you were paying attention. I told you Florida, because Florida, this is coming off of a blowout. Like Florida State just lost to Louisville. So I said they're going to come back and they're going to bounce back. I was going to find the scores of those games so I can tell you, because the one wasn't even close. The Florida State game, here you go, week 4. I gotta figure out what this was. Florida State was -5 against South Florida. I told you they were gonna blow them out. They won by 20. That wasn't even close. The game wasn't even that close either. The other one was closer. Louisville was -30. They won by 31. So I knew that was gonna happen. I knew it was gonna be that close, but like I said, 2-0.
Yeah, I was good at that game. It's an awful big line to get out, but you got to know something. You put a line like that, and it comes off 1 point on it.
Yeah,
gotta love those guys down west, man. The way they put.
Well, it was a blowout, but then Marshall put up 20. Marshall put up 21 in the fourth quarter when the game was already over. This week I do like one game. Now I just got to re-find it. Stanford's at home -2 against Colorado. So there you go.
Stanford -2.
Put it on the board.
Yeah, one of my plays 2 weeks ago was a. You'll love this. Was a WNBA play. I posted
You want it?
I split it. You got to know where that came from, right?
As long if you played it, you lost. You may have won. You may have won money, but you lost in life.
You lost your dignity.
Then another one of the plays was an NBA game that was a.
Is that professional help category?
Preseason game.
Hey, any way you look at it, it doesn't matter to me. If it's a play,
matter a little bit.
No, it doesn't. If it's an earner, now all the people cares about is it put up a win. That's no matter how you do it.
Is that professional help category when you start betting on women's basketball?
And NBA preseason, yes.
All right, okay.
Especially the women's basketball, the play comes from the top. So you put it when it comes from the top, you put it down. Okay, I don't care what it is.
Now, what do you got? Are you on any side totals yet for hockey? I know that's your big thing.
Just gave 3 of them out.
I mean, the Flyers. I heard you say the Flyers.
Yeah, I like Chicago on a 2.5 in Chicago.
2.5.
Yeah, with the scoring machine that they are, man. Yeah.
Well, absolutely. They're a 3-goal game. They're a 3-goal game team.
Flyers still not. I watched the last 2 Flyers games. I'm sure you have too. They're issues. I love the young guys.
Oh my God, are they amazing?
The whole league's got young guys. The whole league's got young guys.
I'm so shocked. And I said this, and I kind of didn't want him to make the team, but he did, and he just played that well. Konecki.
Yeah.
I mean, jeez.
What is he? 18?
19. Him and Provorov are both 19.
Little kid. They look like he's like nothing to him, and he's feisty too.
When I grow up, Mom, I want to be a hockey player.
Yeah, he's got to take less hits though, because he continues to get banged around.
Well, they're just targeting him because he's a rookie. Well, they were going after Provorov too.
He goes in there. He goes into the mucking now. He goes into the corners. He's hitting.
The hits that he was getting were not. I mean, he's been boarded twice already. He drew penalties for that just because he's against the board. I mean, it's hockey. You can't avoid the boards, you know. I'm just saying, and right now, they scored 4 goals and 3 goals. So I'm happy with that. So for the goaling, to me, that's what you wanted out of them, more goals. And so far, we're getting it.
You know what? Mason's got a little disappointing. I mean, he was disappointing ending last year. I don't know if he's the starter anymore.
I don't. You know what? I agree with you.
I think the team reacts and his,
I think the team reacts differently when Neuvert's in there.
Neuvert does not let the rebounds go out like Mason does.
Yeah.
A lot of rebounds shooting out in front of the net, and that's going to.
I agree with you, but he wasn't the reason they lost the game.
Wasn't the reason.
No.
They let the
that wasn't the reason. They left. They just at the end of the game it was like loose coverage. They should have won. They should have won that game. You know who won that game? Because in overtime when they went to 3-on-3,
yeah.
I can't even think of the goalie for them. He was amazing.
He's still in his head.
Yeah, that one save. I thought it was a game. I was like, I jumped up thinking, that's right, 4 goals now, 4-goal team. We finally got a 4-goal team now. So
yeah,
but
listen, there's going to be the NHL. I can tell you, and it's just by the first week of scoring in this league, it's way up. The first 4 nights of hockey.
No, it's probably right around 3 for everybody. A little under 3, I would guess.
But
I was looking at the goals.
Game totals here. They're all
game totals. I'm talking about total goals for each team. They're right around 3. Right. So you're looking at. It's up.
The average
5.5.
The 4 goals a game. The 4-2 games. There's a lot of 5. There's been a lot of goals scored. And it's a lot of the young guys scoring the goals right now. But that's going to change. Hockey change once they get themselves in order, just like any other sport. Football, same way. You get out there to film, to study, and by late November, everything will be, it'll come back. It will neutralize the entire league, and the teams are.
What you couldn't have predicted was Edmonton scoring all those goals.
Yeah, well, we did. We won both times.
I know.
I wasn't on last night. Last night we pulled off them.
What do they got? They got 14 goals already in 3 games.
Yeah, that's incredible. Games. Yeah, and last night they only got grabbed 2 last night, but whatever. They lost the game 6-2, I think. Nashville, good hockey team this year. Very good hockey team. They're a team to watch, and I love the young Toronto team. That's going to be a scoring machine over there. I think they got 4 rookies, and they got the guy that scored 4 goals. The rookie scored 4 goals in the one game, didn't score any on the second game, but he was out of his mind that day.
Who's on tonight? San Jose and who else? If you're on,
Rangers.
They're playing the Rangers tonight. Yep.
Didn't like that action.
Yeah, I would have stayed away from that too. If you're taking totals, I would have taken it above, but that's about it.
Gotta know when to fold sometimes. Yep. When you were
I still think if all the teams are going to be there at the end again, we talk about it like all Super Bowl teams that are faltered and all the other teams. San Jose's got a really good shot again.
Coming from our side, coming from I don't even know in the East. I don't know who the teams are this year. Tampa Bay looks tough. They finished strong last year. Tampa Bay.
Ottawa
looks good too.
Ottawa's scoring a shitload of goals too.
The usual suspects: the Rangers, Boston, Montreal. They're not.
Boston,
nah. They're all
Pittsburgh. If Crosby comes back up,
I think he's done, man. That's at 7 concussions already for this guy.
I'm surprised he can still walk. I mean, how many was it?
He's a hockey player. He saw you up, put you back after the first period.
Like Gosper?
Yeah, look at that thing. Man. God. Guy spewing blood all over the place. Guys get over staple. He's got a staple gun back there. He's
freaking Al Capone. Al Capone, it's Scarface now.
Most real human beings are in the hospital for 2 nights. Not these guys.
He didn't miss a shift. They glued him back up and sent him.
How's that possible, man? What are these guys made of? I mean, come on, man. I mean, there's toughness. Then there's ridiculous. He's cut open to where you can see the split in his face. You know what I mean? And he's like,
and they just what?
Cut me, Mick, and sew it up.
Liquid skinned it right back close.
Yeah, you see that? Yeah, that is, man. That's not even Vaseline, right? That's just goo.
It's liquid skin.
Liquid skin.
Super glue, basically.
I gotta get a jar of that.
What the hell do you need it for? Your mouth's about that. That's
having
about
a bad evening.
I don't even want to know.
Mike, you still with us?
I don't pay attention to hockey.
I love this guy, man.
You know what's funny? Like, he played fantasy hockey for all them years when he was younger, right?
Like 2 years, I think.
Yeah. And somebody at my work was talking about asking me a question about it. I'm like, fantasy hockey. I said, I know hockey, but I don't know about fantasy. Like, how does he ask me how that works?
Well, it's goals.
How the hell does it work?
Plus minuses, that kind of stuff. Penalties. That kind. It's just
kind of like fantasy. Yeah. It's the same premise as fantasy baseball.
But each week, like with football, there's only one game.
Football is the only fantasy sport like itself,
right? Where
it's points. Everything else is like baseball and hockey is the same thing. If I have more home runs than you, I get a point.
Right.
And if you have more RBIs than me and strikeouts, then you win 6-4. Like you have more. Whereas
you get points. You accumulate points, and then your points have to be somebody else's.
No. Well, it's you. How many categories you win?
Yeah.
Right. So you would win 6 categories against my 4 and a 10 category league. You win, but you get 6. You get a 6-4, like that's your win.
A few years back, going back,
hockey's the same way. Obviously,
years back, it used to be the same way, like baseball. Baseball in the fantasy, or they called it the rotisserie rigs back when it first started. Monday and Tuesday nights were out. It was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday were the only stats they counted back before the computers took over everything. Mm-hmm. So Monday and Tuesday were out. It didn't matter what your teams did on them days. Because everybody had to play. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, everybody plays. Monday and Tuesday are travel days sometimes. Thursday got weird. I don't know why they kept Thursday in there. But in the old days, that's how it used to be. It was points total. Home runs were worth 5 points, blah, blah, like that. Okay. There wasn't categories. When the computer took over and every game counts, that's when they changed it into like what Mike's saying.
I think football is fine enough. I just think being involved in a fantasy –
I used to love baseball.
But hockey, baseball. I could see you're playing 3 games a week. You can keep track of that fairly easy. But for a baseball, if you got guys on, you're playing 3 game series.
The best of the best play fantasy baseball.
Fantasy baseball is the best fantasy sport.
Yeah,
is it really
by far?
What you have to do is you have to study 2 games down the road. Who's pitching?
You have to check it every day, first of all. Yeah. And there's constant like when a top prospect gets called up in baseball, you got to be on it. Right. You got to have your phone ready by. It's not it's football. It's not like Andrew Luck just gets called up games week 9 to be quarterback. It's like, oh, I've been waiting for this. He's finally called up, and you go and get him. Like you need to be on top of baseball at all times. And the thing about baseball, whereas opposed to football, if you drafted, if your first overall pick was Adrian Peterson, whatever the year, because this year wasn't the greatest, but the year when he tore the ACL or beat his kid or whatever, if you lose your first round pick in fantasy football, 9 times out of 10, you're done. Your season is completely over. You have no shot. Baseball's not even remotely like that. You can lose your top 5 picks and you can still win in fantasy baseball.
There's a guy
because there's guys out there you can find. They may not be the guys who are going to win. You're not going to find Mike Trout sitting out there, but you can find some shady, center fielder for some no-name team who hits 310 on the year, where it's you got to find these kind of guys. Whereas basically you're not just gonna find 1,500-yard running backs with 15 touchdowns on waiver wire in football.
Yeah, they're not. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah,
so that's like. See, I never knew what it was. I never knew how involved it was. It sounded like a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a commitment. You really. And I'm not trying to say like it's a lifestyle you got to be in it, but like if you're going to be like half into it, you're just not going to win. It's just physically not. It's not possible. You have to put your starters in every day because starting pitchers, obviously your hitters, you can kind of just leave the same for the most part. But yeah, your pitchers, you got to be every day, and there's nothing worse than you don't get to your lineups in time or something like that, and you want.
I do it once a week, and I always forget about Thursday.
The worst thing, my story this year was the Vince Velasquez, the start, the day start.
Yep.
I didn't get to 3:00 on a Thursday, whatever it was. Started. It was 16 Ks, 2-hitter.
That was the beginning. That was the start.
Yeah, it was like April or something like that. And I didn't have him in my lineup. It was the best start of the year. So and it hurts. You physically because once it starts, you nothing you can do about it. So you're just watching. You see like 4 innings shutout, like 8 Ks. 5 innings shutout, 9 Ks. Right. 6 innings, 13 Ks. Jesus Christ! Stop striking guys out. You're just making it worse and worse.
Yeah, and once again, you got to play the futures too. You have a game on Tuesday, and you see the pitching, and then all the team, the staff goes like relief pitchers go down the drain. They're not going to be playing the next day, and especially now in baseball, where the relief is so important, right? I mean,
like I said, I went coast to coast in my fantasy baseball league this year. I was in first from week 3 till the end of the season. I ended up losing in the semis, but I won the third place game, won my money back. Great. But I picked, and at one point I had one closer on my team. I ended up with 6 because at the trade deadline, they would trade off, the teams would trade off their closers, and I would go in there and quickly nab their setup man who became the new closer. I got Thornburg from Milwaukee, and I got all these guys who just weren't the closers, but they just earned jobs to do the trades. And it's quick. And I remember because Thornburg ended up being one of the best closers in baseball the second half of the year. And my little brother went to pick him up. He's like, literally, you picked him up 3 minutes before I did. And that's how it is. That's how it is baseball. It's like if you don't get to your computer first, you miss out on a guy who's going to change your season.
He broke my balls because I sat Drew Brees at home again. And I will flat out tell you, the first week is because I forgot it was Thursday. The very first time it happened, I think it was the Thursday night.
You do not sit Drew Brees against anybody at home.
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't play on Thursday.
No, he didn't this week. I just went with Big Ben instead. So I just thought it was funny. But the very first time, I was like, I got no excuse for it. I couldn't imagine having to manage all of this. I mean, I guess it's
here's the thing.
You're on a computer for your life.
Yeah, but they block at work.
No. I mean, but that's something you're used to. I'm not used to.
I do mainly to my app. I'm very rarely on the computer.
Yeah, I put my fantasy league on Wednesday night after I pick up my picks, and then I see who's out there and whatever. I don't understand our free agent picking system, but I just players that I want are usually there, or whatever. But I go in there once a week. I see who's injured, who's not, and then before the kickoff on Sunday, unless I have a Thursday game, I look to see if there's any Q's next to the name, and if there is, I got to replace them. But that's it. It's only 2 times on there. It's not like I'm focusing.
Yeah, I know.
Fantasy football is very
my point.
The computer works. The computer works
manage
in football.
With that.
That's the thing. What hurt football fantasy football from back in the day was the computer, because for one game, 1 day a week back when, or 2 days a week, doing it with the paper and looking up stuff in magazines and things like that and doing your own research was part of the fun. Now, it's just who's going to win that week, because I don't have to do anything, because whatever alerts come up, injuries come up, there's no, unless you're like a few friends of ours were so good, they can go back and look into the rookies and the guys on bench, and they know the players, they know who's coming up, what young guys make a difference. Like the years I played with Junior in that league that we went over, and everything was, he knew all these players that came up from behind, which put us on top of everybody. By the time we had injuries, we'd still win the week, and the rest of the league's looking at us. How do these guys come up with these players? Because they're going back into it, not just using the computer at the time. We're going into, doing more research, that kind of. The computer will show you.
Obviously, it's completely unavoidable, because I'm not going to say a computer's ruined fantasy, because it made it better because you can actually do it now. Who's going to sit at home and calculate on base percentage?
I'm just saying. I know, not that it's not better.
I know, but no, I agree. And if you let me finish what I was saying, I do agree with you. The fact that I hate because there's a guy in my league. He's my trainer. His name's Rob. Doesn't really. I mean, he knows football because of what his pop-ups on his phone tells me. Oh, so and so is a new starting running back because so and so went down. Let me pick him up. He doesn't know who these guys are. He has no clue. He just knows that Yahoo is telling him this is the guy to go grab real quick. So he goes and grabs him real quick. That's why. So I'm agreeing with you. I don't like that. And one thing I don't like at all is online drafts. I hate online drafts. I despise. I think online drafts shouldn't even be legal. They shouldn't even be allowed to do them. If you can't get in a room, you can't be in a league.
Yeah,
it's
that's
simple as that.
Well, you know what the funny thing is? No, it's even worse. Online drafts at a restaurant.
Well, it's not online if you're.
Oh no, it's online. It happened at my work.
Well, that's awful.
You guys are at the restaurant online doing it?
Somebody came in and did that. Like,
so you got one guy sitting the other end of the restaurant, the guys on
no,
this
they're
side.
all sitting there together on a computer doing an online
because
draft.
it makes it like smoother, I guess, and it's obviously quicker because there's a clock on the thing.
Yeah.
But here's the problem with that. If we're all drafting off the same exact list of people, there's no.
Right. See what we did? We used
the highest available is
right.
Hunter Henry.
Right.
I'm gonna get him because I know it's not. Guys can't fall because you see we're all looking at the exact same guy who's the top rated.
Exactly right. And we used to do it restaurant drafts, but we actual draft. We put a thing in a hat and take players. We didn't use the computers until we were done. And you go home, then you put it in the computer. You fill out all your spots.
That's what I mean. To me, that was all. I was like, what? Okay, I can see if everybody has crazy lifestyles and you have to do an online draft. I can understand the madness of it. Whatever. I always thought, all right, if you're going to do it, but to have an online draft when you're all in the same room is kind of ridiculous. That was my.
The way
point.
We always did it was if you can't get to the draft and if you're not quick enough to do it through text, so we have guys who do it through text, you just can't be in the league.
Right.
I mean, people my age, we're getting older now. We're late 20s, early 30s. If we understand you're busy, but if you can't get there, that's fine. We can replace you. We have people like waiting to get in the league. We've had the same league since we had the same core of like 8 or 9 guys since high school.
Cashie's been waiting for 6 years now.
You keep waiting.
I wait no more. Now the wall report.
Now, you guys already kind of briefly touched on it, and the only reason I even noticed it happens because I saw a link. Obviously, I never heard of this guy, Austin Matthews. Never heard of him from the Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
first overall
Neither
pick.
did I, actually.
Never heard of the guy.
He's rookie.
The one good thing about him, apparently, he's American. So maybe we're not, can play second fiddle to
He's
Canadians
American,
forever.
yeah.
He's
American. 4 goals when American.
Yep, four goals in the first 2 periods.
Put him in the fame. He's already in there, man.
Oh, he's already done it. No
First
rookie's
person,
ever
yeah.
done it. So he's
no
already
one's
there.
ever debuted with 4 goals. The best part, I love it. They still lost 5-4.
Yes.
What a bunch of losers.
You know why? Because he ruined it.
He ruined it.
He forgot to pick up somebody in the slot. I just think, no joke.
Right.
And when they interviewed him after the game, how about this 4 goals? And know what the kid said? He goes, yeah, but we would have won the game if I had missed my sign in the middle there. Wow.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wow, what a disciplined kid.
That's pretty good.
Right.
I'd rather have him hear that than talk about himself, though.
Blue Jays Toronto going on right now. Starting tonight for Toronto is Trevor Bauer. He was supposed to start game 2, and they actually put a picture up of his finger. His fingers, it looks disgusting. It looks like he got bit by a zombie. He was supposed to start game 2, except the fact that he sliced his finger open before the game. He was working on his drone. He's a big drone guy, apparently. So he was working on his drone, sliced his finger, and it looks disgusting. I'll show you guys this one afterwards. But I don't have the picture up right now. I'll show you afterwards, I said. But my favorite part, actually, I mean, not the fact that obviously he sliced his hand and all this, but Terry Francona, he was asked about it, what's your opinion on this, the injury? Francona says, well, we've all at some point or another had some kind of drone related injury, haven't we? So he laughs it off. It's good to see that you're in good spirits. You just lost your pitcher for game 2 of the ALCS.
Oh, serious?
I like Francona. Why do we ever get rid of him?
Can't win here. He went
He wins everywhere else but here.
Yep. Like everybody else.
Vikings, Eagles this week. Big game. Fox was promoting as their game of the week for next week.
Sure.
I don't know if you saw the graphic during the game there when they were promoting it. Features Eagles, Carson Wentz. One end. Other end has a picture of Teddy Bridgewater with Sam Bradford's face just photoshopped and cropped on top of Teddy Bridgewater's body.
Really?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I can show you the picture. I don't have it right now. Again, but I pull it up. Yeah, they just couldn't find an actual picture of Sam Bradford. It's clearly Teddy Bridgewater.
Listen, Google has a ton of them.
Yeah, it's not that hard to find, but apparently Fox is struggling. They had to use Teddy Bridgewater's body, and the head doesn't even. It's not even facing the same way as the body. It's awful Photoshop. You could get any kid Any middle schooler can do a better job than that.
If it ain't Trump, Fox don't care.
Speaking of the Vikings, now I know the Eagles get a bad rap with all our bad fans and worse, the worst. We kill people. Vikings fan Dave Moschel. He lives in Wisconsin, which is of course Green Bay Packers territory, and he's got a big inflatable Vikings football player. He's a Vikings guy. He was stabbed 7 times.
That's it? Just 7?
Just 7, yeah. By a rabid 21-year-old Packers fan who was trying to pop his inflatable Vikings decoration. He went outside to confront him and said, "Hey, man, don't pop my guy." He got stabbed. So instead of stabbing the thing, he decided to stab this guy, poor guy, Dave Moschel, 7 times in the face and neck. He didn't die. He didn't die. He's fine.
What the guy have, a plastic butter knife?
But
he's
I don't know. Maybe
how the hell do you stab somebody 7 times?
I don't think it's a big,
No, big. But he's fine. He'll be fine for the rest of his
He's
life.
alive. He's been interviewed about it. He said he's not taking, and he said, "No, I'm not taking down my Vikings guy." He's like, "I'm a Vikings fan." He said, "Well, he used to only blow it up on game days." He said, "No, I'm going to blow up every single day of the week now." So
nice.
I like that. Let's stick it to him.
I like it too. If you get stabbed 7 times, that's like hockey players.
But now again, you haven't heard about this. But if it was a Cowboys fan who was stabbed 7 times by an Eagles fan, it would have been front page on ESPN.
It would,
right, and rightfully so.
And CNN.
Yeah, of course. And I haven't been here since the tragic passing of Jose Fernandez, which I was actually very saddened by.
Yeah,
I can imagine you were.
Big fan of that guy.
Oh, yeah,
yes.
he's
baseball
guy.
That's the only reason I knew about him.
Absolute star.
Kept on the radar because of him. He loved
absolute star. Literally, it'd be like Bryce Harper dying.
Yeah,
like pitching wise, he's that good. He's the best young pitcher in baseball. But yeah, so the Florida Panthers like this. They honored him. I don't know if you saw that. All wearing number 6, and it's not even the same. It's not even in the same sport. Like obviously the Marlins did it when their first game, but I like the fact that the Panthers did that. All wearing number 16. Hernandez,
he was a Miami icon down there. He was more than just a ball player. He was part of the infrastructure of the people in there and what goes on in that town. So yeah,
I like that. And people are still honoring him. I saw somebody, I forget what I was watching, but they had JF16 on like their eye black or their helmet or something like that. So yeah, I mean it sucks. It sucks.
Yeah. Boat.
Yeah. Rockets / I don't know if you have seen this video. It's just hilarious. Chinanu Onwueko, he was a 2nd-round pick out of Louisville. He shoots granny style free throws. Have you seen this? Really? He's bringing it back. There are granny style free throws being shot in NBA games as we speak. He was a freshman at Louisville. He shot 47% from the line. He was awful.
Last guy, Rick Barry, right?
Yes, correct.
Rick Barry's last guy to shoot them kind of foul shots.
So he went to his coaches and whatever. I don't know. He just tried it on a whim and it worked. He worked a couple times. He switched his sophomore year. He shot 60% from free throws. So he said, "Screw it. This is how he shoot now."
60%.
Yeah. Well, better than the 47 he shot his freshman year.
Maybe Shaq should have tried that back then.
So he's obviously NBA's in the preseason now. And he went 2 for 2 the other night.
Can't wait to see
swishing a pair of grannies. I like that.
A pair of grannies. That's we used to call it underhanded.
No, that's the granny style. I like this too. This guy's a man. I don't even know why. I read multiple articles to figure out why he did this, but ATP, which is of course the American tennis. I guess it's American. I don't know, but the tennis tour. Number 14th ranked Nick Kyrgios from Australia. He just on Sunday, this is last Sunday, he won his first, or the week prior, he won his first ever event. He's ranked 14th in the world now. He came out for his very next tournament, and he just didn't feel like playing. He's 20. He's 21. So he's got a little attitude with him. Apparently, he is like the bad boy of tennis. So instead of retiring or anything like that, he just literally didn't try. Like you ever see like people just go through the motions? He was
just not feeling it.
He's a professional. Literally, at one point he with the serve, he went like this.
Bugger up. And the guy
just
not feeling
then
it.
The guy just smacked it back, and the guy
not feeling it.
I'm just not feeling it, mate.
At one point, his opponent, 110th in the world, Misha Zverev, got a free win out of this, by the way.
Misha.
You can see that there's a bunch of videos of this. He serves, and Kyrgios just goes like,
just moves out.
He didn't feel like playing. He got fined. Fined and suspended.
I don't feel like playing. Go ahead, fine me, mate.
$41,500, and he's suspended 8 weeks for his actions. They said one of the
8 weeks, make it 10.
There's like 4 different fines that came out to this number. One of the fines was I forget the name of the fine, but it's basically because the fine is like he disrespected the game. Like he didn't play.
Fuck me. I don't care. Just don't take me koala. Leave the koala alone.
Disrespected the game.
That's what the one rule basically means you just have to try, and he didn't do that, so he got fined $16,500 for that one.
I didn't try. I wonder if that's even in any other sport.
I find it funny that it was a.
You sure it ain't the Australia tennis professions?
It was a second round matchup, which means I'm assuming he either got a bye into the second, or he really did try apparently round one. But then week two is like, fuck man, I don't feel like playing today.
I'm not playing it, mate.
No, people.
Can we do this another time?
People in tennis retire all the time. Like
what's the guy's name? Mashiki? The other guy?
Misha.
Mashiki. Hey, Mashiki. I think we could go grab a Foster's and do this in another time. Okay?
He also, one of his fines was also because now the fans are booing him, of course, because they paid money to watch us and they didn't get to see a match. He's just not trying. He yells out at the fans, if you don't like it, why don't you go down here and you play? This guy is one of my new favorites right now.
In tennis.
And finally,
because it's got to be a soccer one because we've had tennis.
It's not soccer, really.
No soccer.
No, because
I gave you a soccer one.
I don't know where you gave it to me at.
Oh, in a text message.
Oh, see,
in a Facebook message.
I don't have Facebook anymore. I haven't had it in 2 weeks.
Yeah, you whacked me.
No, I just
deactivated
Facebook.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
What? What's happened, man?
Nothing. I get tagged on Facebook. I got a lot going on in my life. I don't have time for Facebook.
You got a what in your life?
A lot going on.
Oh, okay.
Got a promotion at work. Whole nine, yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Life is good.
Mets single A catcher. He was a 2015 8th round pick, Patrick Mazeika. He's now, because obviously Tim Tebow is playing.
He's carrying Tebow's bags.
No, he's not.
Oh.
Tebow should be carrying his bags because this guy Mazeika is actually good. He had 302 years in a row as a catcher. But Tebow, of course, playing for the Arizona Fall League Mets. Now the last time I saw his stats, he was hitless. He was 0 for 9. I don't know what
I heard some reporters say it's a
Keith
fraud.
Keith Law said it's a farce that he's playing the sport.
Yeah.
But Mazeika is selling an autographed. It's an autographed Tim Tebow baseball bat, $4,500 on eBay.
That's what it's about, man, and saving lives.
And what he said, what Mazeika said, he's like, whether I actually go through with the sale or not, is I'm just kind of putting the feelers out there, seeing what I can get for this. It's minor league. If the life of a minor leaguer is not glamorous, they get paid like $1,000 a month.
Yep,
so to say, hey, Tim, sign his bat, I can make like 4 months salary off of it. I would do the exact same thing. Yeah. The reason I said it last, one, because of course it's Tebow. Tebow's got a cap off a wall report. And secondly, fair or foul, pun intended, on selling your teammates autographed merchandise.
The situation is the whole reason Tebow's there is a fraud to make money to fill. So money's being made regardless. So why shouldn't they take advantage of what he's doing?
I agree.
There?
I think what he's doing is fine.
I mean, if Tebow was smart, I don't know if he needs money or cares about money, but he should sign everybody a bat for everybody on that team, having to put up with him being there, number one, so they all can make a few bucks out of it. In fact, let Tebow sign 1,000 bats, just give it out to the whole league or whatever. At this point, the fraud is so bad there, putting him on the team just to have people show up. And have reporters there and put something on. What's it? It's the New York Met. What do they call
Arizona
it?
Fall League.
Fall League, right? So no one gives a shit about that unless they do now because Tebow's there. So why should everybody?
That's not entirely true.
What do you mean?
Arizona Fall League is a very important league
for guys who are coming up, not for guys just trying to do a showpiece there.
No, not for like interview, but for scouts, it's very important.
But Tebow's wasting a roster spot because he's Tebow, and that's the only reason.
Because do you know why? Odubel Herrera was an all-star because the Phillies drafted him as a Rule 5 pick because he was the MVP of the Arizona Fall League the year before they got him.
Well, because he was good.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a very important league. It's a very, very important league. But
which even worse. It makes it worse that Tebow's there. It's a very important.
Which is why Keith Law he's that unhappy about it.
Well, I sent you this story: the Virgin Bride that bashed her husband over the head with a wine bottle after seeing his large manhood on their honeymoon.
Is it a name soccer player or just some like
Manobo Madibia?
What did you expect? Whatever. I mean, I'm assuming
his nickname was Anaconda.
I'm assuming he's from like Ghana or something like that.
Somewhere, I guess.
What did you expect?
South Africa, Ghana, as in gonorrhea. Yeah, no, it's from South Africa, right? The couple had decided to abstain. They met at a church, and they said they're not going to have sex until they get married. So I know it's on a honeymoon. Everything was all fine until he took off his pants. And then all hell broke loose. She hit him in the head with a wine bottle.
I don't see how that's
hit him with the
thing.
I know. Soccer story, so I gave you one.
Although I did actually want to throw something out there that's actually like news related. not so much just funny, because it came out really late, like an hour or two ago. The MLB, according to Buster Olney, wants to get rid of the international signing period. You know how they do that for the non draftees, the foreigners. They want to do it in a 10-round draft now for anyone over the age of 18. So guys like, the Ichiros who come over and all that. They instead of just signing with a team, MLB wants to do a draft now. It's not official, but that's what they want to do.
But I thought it was the Japanese league that once you sign there, you can't go to America for 7 years. I thought.
Well, no,
that was the Japanese league rule. So
yeah, but that's relevant. But my point is that Ichiro decides after 7 years, I want to go to America.
Oh yeah,
he can't just go and say I want to sign with the Mariners. He has to enter the MLB international draft now, and it's going to be an actual draft. And that's this is not something that's official.
I kind of like that idea.
Yeah, but what it's supposed to do is, well, for one, there's pros and cons, of course. The pros that people are saying is that now it can't just be the Dodgers and the Yankees and the Cubs signing all the big name guys, because they do. Look at the guy starting for the Dodgers. I think I had him not Hiroki Kuroda. I forget his name, but I had him on my fantasy team this year. He was really good. Kenta Maeda is who I'm thinking of. Kenta Maeda. But instead of just signing with the best teams, now the weak teams have a chance to get these guys. On the con side, they're saying, okay, well, now you're taking the choice that these kids have, or now these guys have, of where they want to play, which is they're supposed to be able to do. Now you're forcing them to play somewhere they don't want to play. Where, I don't know. So the pros and cons. I kind of like the idea, to be honest. That's just me.
Yeah, I like it too. I mean, let's face it. There's a lot of teams like that hold drafts like this, and if you get picked by a team you don't like, that's what started the whole Lindros fiasco. Remember?
Yep.
He didn't want to go to he told him, don't draft me. I don't want to go to a Canadian team. Still draft him.
And your Monday Night Football update. Cardinals up 7-0.
Yep.
David Johnson is the best running back in football.
Yep, right now.
6 carries, 65 yards, and a touchdown.
Your other update?
Baseball 1-1. Toronto and Cleveland right now. That's in the top of the fourth. If anybody gives a crap at this point until we get to the World Series. You watch any of that? I watched Clayton Kershaw throw a game the other day. Everybody.
I haven't watched any.
Coming off that game that he had finished up, and he was just I haven't seen it. I think Kurt Schilling was the last one to throw a game like that. I think in the World Series, he had one of those games where the ball was just popping through the whole game. Kershaw was he had a new pitch. He had a sidearm. He's throwing sidearm.
I didn't watch any of it.
He pulls out a new pitch out of his repertoire during the playoffs, man.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, he was good. Anyway, other than that,
the other update is the Chef is beating the King.
Yeah, well,
123, 121.
This week's fantasy. Mike called it from the beginning when he saw my lineup. I was in trouble to start. So, before we go, last time we were here, we were excited about the NBA start and the Sixers having a little bit of a show team. And since then, we've lost our first round pick for who knows how long.
But we didn't lose him for the year.
I don't know.
And not at all. I said like 8 weeks.
Yeah. Well,
and it's already been like 3.
Yeah,
so
according to his agent wants them to stay out, but who cares? The agent.
But anyway, again, at this point, you're so immune to it.
Yeah, it's a way of life.
It's just a way of life. Yeah. And you draft a guy and he's hurt.
I've actually liked watching the Sixers. They're not playing. They're not winning games right now. I mean, who cares really?
But you got to be excited. I mean, even I was like, all right, it's all the highlights of Embiid. I'm one. Yeah. All right, at least the kid gives a shit.
He's a player.
It looks like he wants to win.
Embiid looks good.
He's a player, man.
I like it.
Yeah, he's a player.
And I was down on him.
Is he a legitimate center? Maybe. He may be the first big man we've seen on this team in a long time.
Long time.
Yeah, I mean,
since the last time I watched.
No, since the Kimbe Mutombo, I think. It's the last time we had a big guy, I think, in the middle, right? What's the last guy that this Sixers center? There was an actual center on this team.
I think you just named him.
Yeah, man, that's a while ago. That's 9. What are we talking? 2000, 2001. Yeah, that's the last time, right? So I was looking forward to him too. I want to see him play. I want to see Simmons play with this crew. I want to see. I think he's Showtime.
It sucks that you get that little taste in summer ball.
Yeah.
And you could see what was coming, and then you sit there, and in your head, even I was sitting there going, you know what?
I was in line for tickets.
Yeah, I was. But I got to pay attention.
It's only the first month of the season.
Yep.
So it's nice. If you're losing for the year, of course it'd be awful. It'd be absolutely awful. But like I said, you're just so immune to it. It's like when you're in a relationship, you get cheated on every day. Like at some point, it's okay. That's just a way of life. I get cheated on. Like Sixers get cheated on by life.
Is that the band? the hell is that?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
I don't know. Something popped up on here.
That's me again. You know,
It's me.
There's no control of his computer whatsoever.
None. I thought I had the volume off.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, let's wrap it up. That was a good show, guys. Cash
Still left the music going then.
Yeah, you might as well.
We were going out. Sorry.
Going out into the whole thing. Anything else to add? Anything we any of any importance? Anybody? Anyone?
I think we're good.
All right.
Just flyer. Keep watching the Flyers.
Well, we'll see, man. You know, like I said, I don't want to see the same old, man.
You're
That's
not,
for
and
sure.
you're not. You haven't.
So
you
far.
haven't yet.
So far, I see the puck in the net.
Yeah.
You know what I like? I like when the puck goes in the net. It's key. It's key for, you know what? I hear when you do that, you can win hockey games.
Definitely.
Yeah, I got you. Cash the King. I got my chef, Brendan B. Mikey the Wall. This is Sports Goombahs, and we're here every Monday night, 8 o'clock. Be there. Don't be there. Remember, you can't win unless you play my plays, right?
That's right.
And if you're paying your bookie,
It ain't our fault.
not a chance. Not in the last 3 weeks, that's for sure. Sports Goombahs, we're out.